All right, and welcome to the Freedom Hawk Equity Podcast. This is episode number 1. I'm going to tell you right now, we are the number 1 investment company in the United States of America, and we're here to dominate. I got Jacob with me. I got Robbie with me. Guys, how you guys feeling today?
Pumped, man. Pumped.
Phenomenal.
Let's go.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Let's go. So let's jump right into this. You know, we're the number 1 company in the country, right? We're building a badass culture. We have such an elite team of real estate experts, but people that we just like love to go to war with on a daily basis. Jacob, give us a little bit of insight of your world in a Freedom Hawk Equity.
Yeah, so I'm in the lion's den on acquisitions. So
Let's go.
It's like Wolf of Wall Street type energy in there. But no, to speak on culture, man, my whole team, like he said, I trust every one of these guys to go to war with. There's no one else that I'd want to be a part of, no other team. I really feel like, I know it's cliche, but, we built the dream team.
100%.
It's taken a little bit to get here, but we had to go through some stuff to get to the place that we're at. And no, man, I'm just pumped. I trust everyone here. That's a big thing in this industry is trust.
Yep.
Because you never know what can happen.
Yeah.
Especially in this industry. So trust is huge, and I feel like we have that here, 100%.
Love that. Robbie, what about you, brother?
Man, well, you're very right about, the Wolf of Wall Street, Lion's Den kind of picture.
Let's
Because,
go.
I'm in the office kind of adjacent to them.
Yeah.
And on the dispo side, sometimes it's actually a little more quiet, because we're working on posting stuff on the MLS or, finding investors. And all you hear is just 3 dudes just talking over each other. And you're like, how can you even focus with 3 conversations going on? But, they're a great, solid group of guys, a lot of experience in that room, a lot of talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one thing that I was thinking of this morning was just the amount of experience that everybody has in the different paths. We've got people who are in car sales. We've got ET who, was in the insurance business.
Yep.
You've been doing this for a year. I'm on the dispo side, but I've been in real estate for 3 years. All that is to say, I think all of those experiences and all those different paths, when you put them in the right place, in the right time, with the right leadership, like you're just cooking something super awesome that you really can't put your finger on what it is.
Yeah, dude, we're building something special, and that's what's so cool is we're doing it together, So look, let's talk about what separates us from maybe some other companies, right? And I'll just say this. For me, one of the biggest things that separates us from the pack is our professionalism, but how serious we take our craft.
Mm-hmm.
This is going on my 8th year in the industry, and I've been around the game for a while. I've seen a lot of people come and go. When I first came in, there was a bunch of people that came into the real estate space that maybe even started off a little hot. But then, dude, I looked up, and 18 months later, they're not here.
Right.
Or, they're on the Amazon store, or they're doing Forex, or they're doing the cryptocurrencies or whatever, or they're selling baseball cards, whatever they're doing. What separates us, I believe, is just us mastering our craft and taking that serious on a day-to-day basis and the consistency. Robbie, you came from a different company, okay, a big company.
Mm-hmm.
What were some of the experiences you had there, and then obviously, and then kind of maybe the differences with Freedom Hawk Equity?
Right. So I think kind of the main difference is just size,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you are, big competitor like that, a lot of focus just turns on to, top line, bottom line.
Yep.
What is selling, who is selling what, how much money is coming in this month. One of the benefits that we have, over here is our team size. It allows us to, like you said, focus on the craft. Understand, we can get really microscopic and say, okay, how are we doing? What is working? What isn't working? And how can we adjust?
Mm-hmm.
Where I came from, there wasn't a lot of team collaboration. It was very much, every man and woman for themselves.
Right.
Figure out how to get the job done. And, that's great. It was a wonderful place to learn. You learn, you just get thrown in the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that in itself is a great thing. But that's great when the company's already,
Yeah.
that large. Whereas when you got a little bit of a smaller team, you have a little bit more flexibility. It is so crucial that everybody can come together and say, hey, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? How can I do better for you? How can you do better for me? And if we both do that, then naturally the company's going to blossom and grow. So I think just that, that collaboration, that exchange of ideas, and that, that radical honesty and truth is probably one of the most important driving factors for this company that's going to take us to where we want to be.
Yeah, let's roll, dude. I love that, man. Jacob, what about you?
Yeah, so I came from a little bit of a different background. I came from a smaller company, and where I think, a lot of people in this industry, it is full of smaller companies. One thing that I think sets us apart is our systems and our culture. Correct me if I'm wrong, but where you were at previously, I feel like y'all had the systems, but not the culture.
Right.
Whereas as far as here, I feel like we have both. And what I mean by that is Blake has put a team together where each person in every role, that's their specialty. We have an answer for any issue or any problem that can come up during closing.
Absolutely.
We have a person that we can call. We have a person who can guide us, and we have a person who can help us with anything. Where I've been at previously, and just in my experiences, not a lot of other teams have that. So that's huge. That's huge for me. And then our culture, it's just it's impeccable.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm close. I feel like we've only been around each other for, a short period of time, but it feels like a long period of time. And that's whenever you're around good people that you have shared values with. And, I'm just excited to be with you guys.
Absolutely. And to kind of add to that, I think one of another important dynamic of us is trust.
Yeah.
And of course that is also due to the team size, but we're not just hiring, all-star people. Well, first of all, we are all-stars, and we are hiring all-star people.
Facts.
We're not just going off of production. We're not just going off of numbers.
That's right.
Who cares if you're moving 200, 300K in
right.
volume every single month? That's great, but are you going to fit with us?
That's right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if you can bring that money, that volume. If you're not going to fit with us, with the team, one person can totally dismantle the system where we are right now.
100%.
So I think that trust that we have between departments, between leadership, I've had some issues, or I've had some thoughts maybe from previous, how should this work or how should that work? I trust you, I trust Audrey, and I trust y'all. If I see something that maybe y'all don't see, go up to y'all and say, hey, can we talk about this? And it's always just this open exchange of ideas to get on the same page, to keep moving forward. It's fantastic, man.
It's what I love about what we're building. I think a lot of, in our space, in the real estate investment space, it's sort of it's a wild west industry, right? Not very regulated, sort of a baby industry, right? And a lot of companies are short-sighted. They're not looking at the bigger picture, right? And they don't invest in their people because they don't value people. Like, that's just the facts, right? Most companies out there, they're chasing the deal, right?
Yeah.
I call them lottery winners, right? Like, they're looking for the lottery check, and then they're going to go off to Thailand for 6 months, right? And then once they get broke, right, Jacob, they come back.
Yep.
I know you've experienced with that, with not you personally, but the person that you were working for, right? And it's like, hey, man, I'm glad that you're in Thailand for 6 months, but what about your people? Because, you're supposed to be providing opportunities for them, but now you just shut the whole freaking business down because you took all the money. That is what I see in our industry all the time, is owners create the business, they set up shop, they go have a couple big months, sayonara, I'll see you later. Then they'll go rebuild with new people, or they don't even come back at all. And then the people that helped them have that success are kind of left out on the street. So for us, it's long term, man. I want to build, the number one company in the country. And the only way to do that is to have people that are thinking long term. We're not thinking short sighted. And I'm going to tell you, like, most people in our space, they're only thinking about that next deal. And for me, it's like, I'm thinking 3 years down the road.
Yeah.
Like, where are we at 3 years from now, right? And obviously the next deal is important, but that's going to take care of itself if we're all kind of in alignment with each other, watching each other's back and kind of helping each other grow.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the blessings and the curse of the industry. You can rip, a really big deal, and that's awesome. That's great. But hey, you got to be thinking, hey, where's the next one going to come from?
100%.
What can I do? But a lot of people, once again, in the industry are very short, they're very short-sighted, and they think, oh man, had 2-3 good months. Let me take the next 3 off.
Right.
It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I think that is where, someone asked me a question, and it was a coach of mine, mentor of mine. He goes, Blake, if I put $20 million in your bank account today, what do you do tomorrow morning? Right? It's like, well, what do you do? Right? And my answer, it was the truth, and it ended up, obviously being something kind of what he wanted to hear. But I said, I would get up and I'd get to work, And I think that's the difference between our culture and everybody else. Dude, we've had big days, right?
Mhm.
Big weeks. We've freaking crushed it. Jacob's made a lot of money in a week, right? We do this all the time. But the thing is the next day we show up, not just for the dollar, but it's because of who we are, right? It's the culture that we have. Like we set that standard in the industry of like, look, no, we're the number one leading authority in this space. Michael Jordan, when he won one title, he didn't stop there.
Right.
He was like, I want 2, I want 3, I want 4. Same thing for Kobe. The success becomes the standard. And I think for us at Freedom Hawk Equity, like that's what it is. It's like the standard is success. Like that's just what we do. We expect to be the best. When I think other companies are, we had like Robbie, we had a good month. Okay, we're good. No, we're not good. We need another good month and another one and another one and another one, and keep stacking on that so we can build that legacy for our families.
I think for me, we were having our one-on-ones with Audrey, and one of the things that kind of dawned on me, first week, or really the first day that I was there, ended up making a sale, which is good for the revenue. And then the next week made a pretty decent sized sale.
Well, let's just talk about, babe. Come on. What was the deal size
All right,
on that? Come on, Robbie.
so first one, day one in the office at Freedom Hawk Equity, ended up selling 15 grand.
Let's go.
In volume.
Let's go.
Then that following, I believe, Wednesday it was, or maybe Thursday, ended up ripping a 77 pop.
$77,000.
77,000.
Let's go, baby.
77,000.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that one more time.
Yeah.
And then we're working this other deal that I think is like 18 or 20.
Let's go.
But the point besides the numbers was that as I was talking with Audrey, I realized it's not about the money that I'm making.
Yep.
Sure, that's a huge benefit, and that's a big plus because we all got bills to pay. But I realized I'm doing it because I want those guys to see like, dude, we got the right guy on the team.
100%.
I want to prove to these guys
100%.
like, okay, if we feed this guy deals, he's gonna make stuff happen.
100%.
And I think that was just a really, really big realization for me that like the money's great, but that is what isn't driving me. It's that clutch factor, that success.
Yeah.
Who do you want to be shooting that last shot when things aren't looking good, when maybe revenue's a little low for the month? Who do you want? I want to be that guy. And I think everybody on the team wants to be that guy and gal.
Yeah. I was just about to piggyback off of that. And what I love about our team is, like you just said, everybody wants to be that guy.
Everybody wants it.
And I have full confidence that every single person in there can be that guy if needed.
Yep.
It's like, the Olympics team. You got all those superstars, LeBron James, Steph Curry. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
But they play together as a team, and they know when the game-winning shot comes around, I know all 5 of these guys can hit that.
Yep.
And that's how you win, man.
Yep.
You trust the person next to you. And, like he was saying too, like, it's not about the money, it's about what we're doing for each other.
Yep.
Like for me, like I show up for me, obviously, but I show up for my team also, every day. Like I want my team to be set up. Because if I'm not doing my job, then it's hurting the team and it's taking money out of my team's families and mouths. So, it's just culture, man. Culture's huge here.
Is everything. Yeah, culture drives results. Culture beats strategy. And like you said, Jacob, is everybody on our team can be that person. I mean, we don't have a weak area, okay? I mean, seriously. And there's all like that saying, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, like it'd be tough to find who our weakest link is because we're so strong everywhere. Robbie, so let's talk about the culture part of it. I mean, so when it comes to Freedom Hawk Equity, who will we not bring on? Okay, like let's draw a line in the sand. Who are we not going to bring on to the team? Because we don't just accept everybody.
Yeah, I think the line in the sand, the one word that I think about is selfish.
Let's go. Yep.
Like I mentioned before, there are some awesome MVP players.
Yep.
You know, specifically like as a disposition agent, there are some incredible MVP all-star level, you know, disposition guys, you know, dudes who are moving 200, 300K in volume. And I've seen it, and it's, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
But at the cost of, like I said, the growth and the development of other people.
Right.
Whereas, you know, you're so focused on this one all-star, keeping that person happy, the rest of the team, you know,
That's right.
ends up losing. And we would have those some team meetings in the past where they say, hey, 2 or 3 guys are making all the money. What about y'all? It's like, well, damn, man. Like, you know, we're trying out here.
Like
but
that's supposed to be motivating.
Right. Like, and you know, it's tough, and it's tough to be in that position. So I think for me, you know, and you can attest to this, I don't think we want anybody selfish, low energy.
Zero.
We want people
Zero.
who
Yeah.
agree. We're going to come in every single
That's
day,
right.
do the work, and really just, you know, just be optimistic.
Yes.
Because, you know, we've seen some people come into the office that are just, you know, it's another 9 to 5 to them.
They don't
It's-
last though.
It's another, like, oh, I gotta make a sale today, or I gotta get a house under contract. We don't need those kind
Nah.
of people, you know. It's just gonna end up hurting us.
That doesn't align with our energy.
Not at
You know,
all.
and success, like, and that's the thing, man. The other companies or other people, like, yeah, who cares if 2 people are winning out of 40, 38 people aren't winning,
Yeah.
right? So it's like that's not success. To me, the difference, like, you can be good by yourself and you might be classified as successful, but when you're able to bring other people with you and lift up the team, that's significance,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's much more powerful than success, right? It's success on steroids. You know what I mean? So, Jacob, what have you seen in the past, like when it didn't work out for some people, right? Why didn't it work out with Freedom Hawk Equity?
I think it was similar to what he said. Obviously, you know, we don't want anybody selfish, but I think it's also bringing that positive energy.
100%.
You know, like what we're reading right now, the energy bus.
Yep.
You know, all about positive energy. You know, we've had negative energy in the past.
Yep.
And you know, the good thing is we had so much positive energy that outweighed it. We didn't let it bring us down.
Yep.
But it definitely could have if we allowed it to.
100%.
Another thing for me is loyalty. You know,
Yes.
and loyalty goes beyond just, you know, sticking by somebody. It's about trust, and it's about what you say and what you do behind that person's back.
100%.
It's about how you talk about your team behind their back. It's
Yep.
about how you treat them, how you think about them, how you look at them. You know, we have had, you know, new hires come in, and for me, you know, I've been an open book, just helping train them up to try and get them up to speed as fast as possible. You know, some people don't do that. You know, some
right.
people look at them as competition. Some people like to withhold information because they want to still be the best.
Yep.
But that doesn't drive winning culture. You know, what I look at it as is, you know, if everybody's winning and if everybody's making deals and making money, that only goes back into the company, which goes into our marketing, which
That's right.
provides more leads. So it's, you know, it's a hamster wheel. So
Yep.
it's all about, you know, being the best version of yourself every day. And being optimistic, like he said, you know, sometimes we got to be a little crazy. Sometimes we
got
got
to.
You have to be.
Sometimes we got to be a little delusional.
Dude, you
and
got to. You got to. I mean, look, man, the world is so negative,
yeah,
right? I mean, you wake up, it's all you see on the news or in social media, and yeah, man. Like, look, I'll be on. I don't follow any of that stuff. You know what I mean? And people are like, oh, you don't. Yeah. What? Me watching the news and being consumed by, you know, what some bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. is doing is not going to put food on my family's table,
Nope.
right?
Mhm.
How I'm going to do that is I'm going to show up and be the best version of myself. I'm going to take care of my business and take care of the people that are literally in my life. And look, man, I think, you know, this is even beyond the industry stuff, but like just from a culture perspective, it's going to be hard to walk into any office and beat our positive energy. And then, but not only that, it's the purpose, right? Like every single person shows up with a purpose. Like it's deeper than just a paycheck. Robbie, what is your, like, let's talk about some big goals, man. What are some big goals that you have, and why are you chasing those?
So for me, you know, depending on what you consider a big goal, for me, it's the biggest goal in my life that I have, and I've had it since I was like probably 16 years old.
Okay.
My biggest goal, when I know that like I've made it or I'm on the path of making it, I'll know whenever I'm able to buy my mom a house,
Let's go.
get her a nice car,
Let's go.
be able to take her and my sister, to the Houstonian on a weekly basis. For me, that's kind of the closer goals. Um, Ideally, I'd love to, have a nice exit, have some equity in a few different businesses, and then end up doing my own things. I would love to own a music school.
Okay.
As you two know, as a musician,
Yep.
I'd love to own a music school and help young musicians, whether they're singers or pianists or instrumentalists, whatever it is. I'd love to build a wonderful music conservatory that ends up, growing nationwide and is just becomes the standard for, oh man, I want my kid. I see this kid has musical talent. I need to send them to Robbie's school, his company, because I know that that's where they're gonna get the best.
100%.
That'd
Dude,
be like the dream. That'd
it's
be the
powerful,
dream.
man. It's powerful, bro.
Yeah.
And look, dude, everything you said right there, and we always talk. This is kind of what we're talking about here within our company. We call these years the legacy years. So now until the end of 2027, we call these legacy years. Why are they legacy years? Because it's going to literally help Robbie achieve those goals that he has, right? Like these years are going to catapult him into be able to do those things. And I think that's the common factor is we're all building something because, look, I think God takes everybody in different directions. We all have different, bigger purposes in life. We're building a badass company and we have an amazing culture, but there's other things that God will put in your path that he wants you to accomplish. But dude, you can't accomplish that if you're dead broke, right? If you're dead broke, bro, and you can't pay your phone bill, you can't help mom, you can't help your sister. Jacob, man, talk about the legacy. What are, these next couple years, what is that going to set you up for in your future?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm kind of, we're all together on, these next 3 years. We're just going to be grinding it out,
100%.
going all in on our vision and our company. I really want to work towards just being financially free. I really have this vision and a goal that, I want to move my son up to the hill country, have a nice little house
Love that.
on a little piece of land, and just, out there quiet, just enjoying life and just being able to provide him with something that can last.
100%.
And then as far as, my goals is I'm just, constantly just surrounded by, people that have shared values and learning from you guys and increasing my goals and seeing what's further on the horizon. That's one thing that, has really benefited me being here is I've been able to see over what I had previously seen possible.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. And like that's what's so cool about everybody, in our company is like they all have something bigger. That's what makes us, I think that's what sets us apart, right? So when I talk to Jacob about his goals or I talk to you, Robbie, it's not, yeah, there's the material things, right? We love that. Love the cars, love the watches, love all that stuff. But it's you hear the motivation. It's about your son. It's about your mom. It's about your sister, right? It's about your family. The material stuff is a side effect. That's a side effect of doing the work, right? I think it's crazy that people chase that stuff. I'm like, bro, you don't got to chase it. Just do the work. It's going to come. But what we need to focus on, and what sets us apart, every single person in our company, if you ask them what their goal is, it's not something material. It's something that has to do with their family, their loved ones, or changing, doing something big like in the community, like with a music school or something like that. Like that's what sets us apart. And us doing the work every single day, dude. That's what I'm saying. These are legacy years. Like these next 3 years, completely going to transform our lives forever. Set us up.
I've never been so excited for like an extended period of time. People think, oh, like 5-year goals or 10-year goals. I've always been terrible at those exercises.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, God just works in funny ways. You just get put in the right place at the right time, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, 3 years doesn't seem so long. 3 years is wow, that a lot of time. 36, yeah, right, 36 months, right?
Yep.
Yeah, can absolutely just, I don't know. It's wild to think about, but you got to be bought in.
100%.
It's crazy what you can accomplish or start believing in when you're surrounded in a room full of people who have shared values
Yes.
as you and the same goals. So that's why I'm so excited.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude, because doing this by yourself, it's tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I started this business by myself, and dude, it's a dead end. I'll be honest with you, man. Like going in business by yourself, doing it by yourself, you can only have so much success, and you're going to be capped out.
Yeah.
And it's a lonely road. They always say, "Oh, it's lonely at the top." Yeah, because you're the only one there. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're not taking anybody with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you damn right it's lonely at the top if you're the only one at the top. And that's what I think, even in corporate America, dude, it's like, that's why I've never fit into that culture, because it's like, it's just like, dude, like you're not helping people win.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't, what is this? It's a dog eat dog, and I think that's what I love about what we're building here, man. It's like, yeah, we're not lonely at the top because we're all going to the top, and we're all doing it together, and we're all sharing an experience. And when we have a bad day, I have a bad day, Jacob has a bad day, Robbie, you have a bad day, we can borrow each other's confidence for the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I may be having a bad day, but I'm gonna borrow ETE's confidence, right? I'm gonna borrow Jacob's confidence or Robbie's confidence, right? To kind of get us through that moment. And then guess what? The next day, they may need to borrow mine.
Exactly.
And so dude, it's just a journey together, man.
Yeah, I think that's such a huge benefit. Like, on top of the radical honesty and transparency, like just the fact that we are vulnerable with each other.
Yeah.
It would be very easy for you to say, we were in a meeting, I think last week, and you had a bit of an extensive weekend and stuff, and you had a lot of stuff coming up, and you said, "Hey guys, excuse me if I'm on edge." It would be very easy for a leader to just, be on edge, not say anything, and just go about the week and just bringing everybody down. But you were vulnerable enough to say, like, "Hey guys, like, got a lot of stuff this week, just sorry in advance," right?
Yeah.
And we're like, "Oh, okay." And little Blake the other day shared something, kind of personal that he was going through. We're not even that super close yet, but here you are coming to me being vulnerable. It's just something that isn't talked about enough, I think, in just general business landscapes, that when you have that team, you got to be vulnerable. And that vulnerability, even though at first it's kind of like, do I want to tell you? Can I tell you? Once you do it, like you said, the watches and all the other crap will come. 100%. But you got to have that first. And I'm really glad that we do. And thankfully, you and Audrey have done a fantastic, phenomenal job of ensuring that that is like the cornerstone before anything else.
Well, I think, honestly, man, I everything you said, I agree with, and I appreciate what you said. Even if you look at it, like, let's just look at it from a business perspective. Obviously there's a culture perspective, right? Where I do believe, like, from a culture perspective, you need to have vulnerability and honesty and transparency, because that's just, I think, good human relations.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at it from a business perspective, dude, it's good strategy, right? Like, if you want good performance and good productivity, it's good to tell your team what's going on. Because if you don't tell them, and they're like, we're all humans, we can sense something, then we're like, you're going to leave it up for their own interpretation. They may misinterpret. Like, if Jacob comes in, he's having a bad day, or he's going through some personal stuff, and he doesn't feel comfortable telling the team, he's leaving it up for every other person to interpret.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, well, does Jacob not want to be part of the team? Or like that's bad business, bro. That produces bad results. We've had that in the past, right? But dude, we actually get better results. It's actually a tactical thing to be open and honest with your team, because we can move faster, we can move quicker. So, exactly what you said, Robbie. Like, obviously, it's just good human relations, and I think it's good leadership. We need to be open and transparent. But like, even people that don't believe in all that, dude, just think about it from a performance standpoint. Like, it actually helps the bottom line when you communicate with your team.
1,000%.
And I think it speaks on you guys bringing in the right people. And, this is probably a topic for another day, but we're into the elements right now, So, and what's cool about our team is, we have a lot of, it's kind of a lot of weighing each other out.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fires.
Yeah.
I'm the only water, but
no, there's other waters. Melissa,
yeah.
Danielle's a high water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So as far as in the office, I'm the only one.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fires.
Yeah.
But I feel like we balance each other out really well.
Yeah.
And, they're able to bring out my inner fires. So, and like you said about, you know, our culture, and it's like if I'm having a character building day or someone's having a character building day, we have so much energy surrounded that we can piggyback off of, like
Dude.
ETE.
Yeah.
You know, he's very infectious, like his energy.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have people that are in place to be able to pick us up if ever needed.
Amen.
100%, man. Well, dude, look, legacy years, these next 3 years, okay, we're gonna like this, dude. I'm excited. It's episode number 1, man. We're gonna freaking crush this. Like I'm pumped. Jacob, what do you want to leave us off on your side, man?
Man, I'm just excited to be here, you know, excited to just share my experience over time. And I'm also excited to grow. I'm excited to grow from this experience and, you know, learn.
Let's go, Robbie.
For me, I'm really excited to be working alongside really awesome people. I'm super excited for every one of you guys out there to see what we're building. You know, it might take a little bit of time, but we're doing something really special. And I just think it's going to be awesome for everybody to see.
Absolutely. Freedom Hawk to the top, man. Appreciate you guys. Until next time.
Until next time.
All right.